Hi, this is Ronnie, and welcome to Way Back When Wednesday. Today we're going back to 1911. And this picture here is of my grandmother and her sister. I'm going to use that really pretty pink paper there. It is Teresa Collins, and I thought, well, I'm going to find something to go with it because I can't have just one paper. And I looked. It wasn't that easy, but I found this one. And I thought, well, if I use it, and it was, scrap, that's all it was. If I use it, then I've got lines to write on for my journaling. So that worked out pretty good. I am just going to mat the paper in white because, like I said, I was having trouble finding something just wasn't too dark to go with this. I wanted it lighter so it wouldn't be quite as bright. I wanted more pastels colors. And the stickers that I'm using, they're all creative memories. I got them like when I first started scrapbooking. We had like 5 creative memory parties and bought things, of course. And my intention when I started scrapbooking was to get all the heritage pages done. And I really regret not doing that. I got into doing my grandkids' pictures and loving that and just put this off and didn't get it done. And you will find out today one reason why I regret doing it. One thing I don't like about the Creative Memory stickers, they were always so tiny. Yeah, and I thought, what am I going to do to put them on here? I want to use them because I've had them so long. And let me tell you, they are still sticky. I mean, they're just as sticky probably as when they were new. And so, yeah, I am using them. And a couple of times I thought, man, if I don't get this down here right, I don't know if I'm going to get it back up. But I am going to try to make my little clusters here more three-dimensional. I didn't put no cardstock behind that sleeve on that little dress there because I'm going to kind of drape it over the let's see, that's a lunch basket, picnic basket. That's it. That's the word. I got it right. And I know I've got the right word for that little buggy there. It's called a pram. Yeah, they called it a pram way back then. And I thought, these kind of look like kids' toys. And this is my grandma and her sister. And they were around 4 and 5 here. And I thought, I'll have some toys for them to play with. I do not think that's what they were actually meant to be when they made them. Because, like, there's even baby rattles there. And I started to use one, then I changed my mind, decided I wasn't. And then I got to thinking right at the end of the video practically that they were the only 2 things left on that little sticker sheet. So yeah, I pulled them out and I went ahead and put them in here because I figured I might as well use them. They may never get used if I don't. And see that little rocking chair? After I did the layout, I got to thinking about this one picture of my mom sitting in a rocking chair that I planned. Well, I think it's a regular chair. I don't think it's a rocking chair. With a quilt behind her. And during the photo session, which is a continuance of the one last week on Way Back When Wednesday, she wanted a chair there because she was feeling like a movie star when she was having her little photo session. There's only like 3 photos from that day. But yeah, I thought I should have used that there, but there is no way that little sticker was going to come back up from there. If you didn't get it on there right the first time, they weren't going to get on there. I put these little swags at the corners, and I wanted some pink mixed in with them. So I am cutting, it was like 2 little flowers together, like a tiny swag maybe. And I cut them in half so I could put some pink on each edge of that little cluster there of the flowers. And, oh, this is a string bow. And I put it on the top there, and surprise, surprise, I got it back up. that's because it was stuck to the sticker. And I moved it, and I liked it better after I moved it. And here I'm putting, oh, I put a blue bow there, and I put it on the baby carriage, well, the pram. I did put it on the pram, and I thought, I hope that don't make it look like a little boy's pram, but that's all right. I wanted to add some blue over to the left since there was some on the right on the rocking chair on that quilt. And yeah, that blue added it in there. Of course, the little rattles do later, but I wasn't thinking of that then because I think I'd already decided I wasn't putting them on there. But yeah, if I have like one sticker left on there of some way I can go ahead and get it on the page, I'm going to get it on there. My title, I'm using these little wood, I think they're pink fresh. Yeah, they are. They are pink fresh. You can tell from here. And it says Lucille and Sister. That is my title. And this is a sad story, and I literally fell down on the job here. On the back of the picture, it says Lucille and Sister. I have seen this picture all my life. And I knew it was Lucille and Sister. My mom, dad told me it was Lucille and her sister. I don't know why I never thought to ask what her sister's name was. Maybe I thought there was a name on the back. I don't know. But I'd look at it and think that's Grandma and her sister. Well, all it says on the back of the photo is Lucille and Sister. So my journaling says, well, it says Lucille and Sister. That is all the picture says on the back. I don't know why I never thought to ask what her sister's name was, but now I wonder it a lot. My grandma's name was Augusta Lucille Howard. And the story of this is her mom had a lot of kids. Her family was pretty good size from what I understand. And they got in hard times. And that was like around 2010. And they were 3 and 4 at the time, the girls were. And she took them to a kind of a little bit distant relative here in Poplar Bluff where I live. And she asked if she could leave them there because they just didn't have money to feed all the kids. And so, we always called her Grandma Akers because that's what my dad called her. She said, yeah, that she would go ahead and take her. She already had a boy, and he was a special needs child, and she was raising him that somebody else had brought to her and asked if she would take. And she said, yeah, sure. So that gave her 3 kids right then. Well, it was over a year later, which would make them probably 4 and 5 in this picture. And I'm thinking my grandma's the one on the left because that girl's just a little smaller than the other one. Her legs aren't even as big around and stuff, and she's just a tiny bit shorter. And Grandma was only 4'8", so it's not like she would be a tall child. And so I'm thinking Grandma's the one on the left. Anyway, her mother came back and she wanted to take the girls. Well, Grandma cried and cried and cried and held on to Grandma Akers and didn't want to go. And so she finally decided to leave her. So she did, and she never came back and got her. So Grandma Akers raised her. And it wasn't a legal adoption. Back then, I don't think they did them actual legal adoptions, really. She just raised her. And she never seen her sister again either. So I do not know her name. And I thought, well, I'll call my uncle and ask my uncle. I sent the picture. I didn't call. I didn't call at first. I sent the picture via messenger and asked if, I said I had that picture, and I said, and did he know her name? And, well, his wife called me. She says, what? We didn't know she had a sister. So I attached my cousins to the messenger thing and asked them, did you know? And they said, yeah, we knew she had a sister and that Grandma Akers had raised her and Walter, and they gave Walter's name too. But they didn't know what the sister's name was either. So it is so sad that I have to put on here Lucille and sister and not have a name. But yeah, I should have started many years ago when I intended. Maybe my mom knew. I don't know. She always said Lucille and sister. And my dad would say that's my mom and her sister. So yeah, it's just something I grew up with and never even thought about. And I probably did expect it to be on the back. I don't know. But it wasn't. So sad to say, this says Lucille and sister. I did look online and I tried to look at the census for about that time and checked the town that was like 35 miles from here in Arkansas. And there was a family with a little girl named Lucille, and her sister was older, but she wasn't a whole year older. And that family had one little girl that was a year older. So they had a Lucille and the little girl older, but it didn't say Augusta. So that kind of throws me off. But I am thinking that maybe that's the family that was her family. But anyway, if you leave a comment below, I'll get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you who are, thank you so much. Have a happy, scrappy week and stay safe. Bye.